Hi, welcome to Artistry Collaborative. My name is Joanne and I am so glad you joined me today. If you're new to my channel, well, welcome. I hope you stick around, and if you see what you like, become a member, because I would love for you to join my YouTube family. And to my subscribers, well, you know I just love and appreciate each and every one of you. So, today we have the second in a series of Farmhouse DIYs. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5. And also a bonus at the end. I entered a floral arrangement in our local Rose Arts Festival, and I got second place. I was so excited. So it was really awesome. I got that lovely clock, and I got a monetary reward, so that was really great. Yeah, here at Artistry Collaborative, we are the home of TriLab, because, well, all we want you to do is try. So we like to explore all kinds of things and just have fun and just play, because we need more of that. We need it, we need it, we need it. So come along and let's create these together. So I had so many ideas for Farmhouse that I decided to do a second series. So if you haven't seen the first series, just hook onto my channel and look up the episodes. I'll try to link it below. But anyways, we're going to, I bought these at Dollar General for $1, and it's going to go in here, but when I put it in here, it is a little too big. So I took it apart, and what I'm going to do is glue it in. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint this gray, because we're going to go with some teal leftover wall, well, it's actually like contact paper that I got from my bedroom wall, and we are going to put that in the background. So I'm just going to go and paint this in a gray. This, I believe, is the color Steel from, no, it's not. This is a generic gray color. So any gray that you like, or, you know, if you have a scrapbook paper that you want to use, color coordinate with that. So let me paint this and I'll be back. Okay, so now that that's painted, I'm using this piece of wallpaper. It's actually like a contact paper that I bought for a wall in my bedroom, and I have a lot of it left over. So you're going to see it multiple times in these DIYs. So I just measured the inside. A lot of times I just use a piece of white tissue, not tissue paper, but let's say copy paper, and make a template before I actually cut my actual scrapbook paper, or in this case the whatever it is I'm using here. So yes, contact paper. So it's already pre-sticky, and so I'm just getting it in there and trying to get it to line up really well, and then I just put that down. And then what I'm going to do is, once it's down where I want it, if there's a little bit of excess, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and then just trim the sides. Yeah, see that little bit there? I go in with my X-Acto. Okay, now I am trying to, I used my wire cutter and I cut the back. Now this one broke apart, so I ended up taking the wheel completely off of it. Actually, it fell off. And so I glued the triangular part down, the feet and the back of it. And yeah, here I am destroying it. And then we're just going to put that in, and then that on top of that. And you have to use a glue like E6000 or something that's really good with metal. Alright, so this one came apart, which is fine. This one I did manage to just fold it in, so that one would work too. So I just wanted to give you a couple of options. Anyways, what I'm going to do, well, I guess I gotta turn this in too. sides. And I'm afraid, well, let me just do this. I'm going to put, oh, by the way, I glued down some of my sheet moss. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue this in. I'm going to just put some drops of E6000, this super tight stuff, and I'm just going to let it sit. There, 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 there. And then I just want to put it center. You don't have to put it center. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I will glue this onto here. And I want to find a sentiment to put up here. Alright, so this is all set, and all I'm doing is taking one of the stickers from Dollar Tree, and we're going to put a little hot glue on this, and I'm just going to put that right at the top. And that's it. Alright, on to the next DIY. So I finally picked up one of these placemats. It's very pretty. And I've seen people make a lot of signs or trays where they just put this on it, but you know, that's not enough for me. So I have this canvas. It's 16 by 20. You could use something much smaller, or you could use one of the Dollar Tree signs. But I wanted to do some mixed media. I'd like to expose you guys to different mediums and ways to create art. You may see things and you go, what do you use that for? So anyway, so I cut this out from the placemat, and I am going to, I covered this with gesso. Gesso is a medium that you buy. You can get it at Joann's or Michael's or any art store. It is a primer. And so when you gesso anything, you can use watercolor, you can use, what I'm going to use are these crayons, I can't think of the name of them, gelatos, that you can blend with. So we're going to make a really pretty skyline. I'm going to create a fence, and then this will be in front of the fence, and then we're going to fill the back with flowers. We're going to embellish the flowers with paper flowers or silk flowers, just to make it more dimensional. And then I may even leave this up here. I'm not sure yet, but that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I have to do is get my gelatos. There are so many people that come out with gelatos. This is Faber-Castell. This is Tim Holtz. I mean, there's just a ton of them, and they're kind of like crayons. And so you can just color, and then later you can go in and blend. So I'm going to do some blues. Going to put a little bit of pink. to take a paper towel and some water, and I'm just going to blend so it doesn't look like crayons. Alright, so I'm going to do this and I'll be back. So this is how it came out. I added a little bit more white to blend it. And now I want like it to look like the sun setting and then rays going. So I put this here and I wanted to see where I wanted the sun to be setting. So it's going to be setting in the background, and I want it, yeah, so that's a good spot. So coming from the middle, so 10 is the middle, so that's kind of where I want the sun. I'm going to use my yellow gelato, and I'm just going to now, I'm taking tape and I'm going to add sun rays. So, I don't know what kind of tape this is. It's kind of like a masking tape. Take my gelato and here. Then I'm going to do the same thing on that side. So as you can see, there's the lines, and I'm just taking the same paper towel and I'm just going over the lines, and you see they come much brighter. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to put my sticks in. And what I wanted to do is, didn't want to use a lot. So I wanted to do every two. Cut this, because the truck will be there. Actually, I don't have to cut it. And then I'll put the truck like so. Yeah. Alright, let me glue all this down. Alright, so that's that, and I'm going to put this here, and I decided to put some brown on here just so that it looks like a road. And then we're just going to glue this on. Put some glue here, here, down there. Here, here. Yeah. Alright, now I'm going to go get my flower stem. Going through my stash, I had a harder time because I needed small stuff. And I really wasn't finding it. But I'm using this super tight glue. because if I use hot glue, it's going to come off because of the mat being like a plastic. So I'm just gluing these in the place where the picture of the flowers are. I'm just going to make it three-dimensional. So you could use E6000, you could even use tacky glue. That would hold, but I just thought I would use this. So I tacky glued this down, and now I'm just going to put a flower up here because it has this, I don't know what it is. So I want to cover that up. So I'm just going to use some hot glue and put that down. And I think I'll put a little pearl in the middle of that flower. But there it is. I really like it. Okay, on to the next DIY. So I'm going to take this mason jar and we're going to cover it with this vinyl from the Dollar Tree. It's very, very cute. How dainty that is. It's absolutely adorable. So I'm going to have to piece it, but we're going to cover this, and then I'm using this piece of scrapbook paper. It comes from a pad I had, and that's going to go in the back of this. This is I did a DIY with this, and now I'm repurposing it because I didn't really like it. So we'll cover all of this up with something. So I'm going to tacky glue this in, and then I'll cover this. This I'm going to paint silver. I was going to try to use the metal, but I don't have anything strong enough to cut it, so I'm just going to paint that silver. Alright, so I use this neutral gray to cover up the top. Now I'm going to take some steel. I think this is empty. I don't think there's anything in there. There might not be much in here either. Some elephant. It's very dry. Some elephant and some silver linings. These are, the small ones are all, what do you call it? Waverly chalk paint. But I'm just going to try to make this look like it is that galvanized metal. So by mixing different grays and the silver, I hope to achieve that. And I'm just pouncing, so you can see. Just pouncing along. I think the lighter gray, this is silver, will make it look more. Alright, so I had to paint the background because the words, but I could have used this side. So I put the first piece down, and obviously it doesn't completely cover. So now what I'm doing is I am matching up where this goes. And I'm going to cut another piece here. Line it up. So now I'm going to do another strip on that side. So that's what it looks like complete. And now I'm just going to take some jute twine and wrap it a few times around and then tie it. Like so. And now we're going to put this in here. Now I did paint this with the antique wax from Waverly. I don't know if I should, I mean it does look like it has some white to it. I'm just wondering if I should distress it with some white to pick up the white that's happening in the jar. If you get ripples like this, I highly recommend using a debit card or a gift card that's expired to get the ripples out, because it does do wonders. And it, you know, it's best to do it, of course, when you first put it down. But I think it's doing it because it's on top of another piece of scrapbook paper that I used for the last background. So yeah. So I think I'm going to lift this up a little bit. So I'm going to put a couple of Jenga blocks. I'm going to put one here. And one here. And then center this. Alright, now I'm going to make a little bow for that. Just the figure 8. Tie it in the middle. Just put some glue there. Put that there. I'm going to put a button there too. Alright, so now I need to find some letters that say happiness is homemade. Alright, so I created that, and then I put a thing of Mod Podge over it. This is the stickers. I have no idea where I got them from. They could be from Dollar Tree. They probably are not. And then I went in my button stash and I found this, and I like that it picks up the pink. So we're going to put a little bit of glue, and we're going to put a button. And it doesn't really need it, but it's very rough around the edges from the last DIY, so I am going to put this, excuse me, jute ribbon around the edge. So I am going to trim this just a little bit. I'm going to add a little glue. I'm going to put some glue putting glue on the edges just to stop it from fraying. Yeah, I think that's really sweet. And if you wanted to, you could put buttons in the corners if you wanted to do that. But I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Alright, on to the next DIY. Okay, so this is completely covered, and now I'm going to take one of these crates and I'm going to paint it with the Waverly Agave. I say these things and then I go, maybe I should do a different color. I think I might do cashew and then distress it with agave. Let me try that. Alright, so I painted this with the cashew, and now I'm going to go with a watered down agave and just dry brush over this. Just so that it kind of blends in with, I mean, I could cover it with the paper, but I don't want it so matchy-matchy. And I'm just kind of doing this. Yeah, I like that. Alright, I am going to go in with a pencil. This is a brown pencil. I need to sharpen it. But go in here and make these a little bit stand out. So I actually did a little bit of watered down antique wax too, and I think it blends really nice. So I'm going to use some of this. This is the Gorilla Wood Glue, and then I'm going to use some hot glue to do it quickly. Put that on there. Put the hot glue. Again, you don't want the two glues to touch because it will negate the glue. I don't know why, but it does. And then I'm going to come down here and just put that like so. And again, you could have went this way, but since these slats were going this way, I thought I would do that. So now I'm going to get a word and I'll be back. Alright, so I found this again using the same stuff, and that's going to go here. But I want to put this greenery. This comes in, not a roll, but it's rolled from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to just put a bead of glue down. And go all the way around. So I attach this by tacky glue, and then this again is from those stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I put that in the front. So now we're going to put some, I call it Oasis, but it's green foam, and just going to put some glue in here. Place it down there. I'm going to take some of the Spanish moss, put some of that in there. Yeah. Alright, let me clean this up and then I'm going to get some flowers. Alright, so I have these really beautiful flowers from Dollar Tree which would go so well, but I don't want to really cover that up or, you know, what's the word, obstruct. So I'm looking into my stash and I find this little, I actually pulled this off of some ball that they gave away at Joann's. So I'm just gonna like fill it with this stuff, which I think is really sweet. And I'll put a little bit of this in. A couple of these. Then I thought maybe even this. Well, it's weird, but it's cool at the same time. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, so easy. Now I'll put this, I'm going to cover this with the brown paper, and then I'll put the thing back on. It fell off. But that's it. I think this is absolutely adorable. Okay, I hope you really like it. Okay, so I have one of these, and I did the same technique with this that I did on the galvanized top of the mason jar. So I painted it gray and then stippled it with different colors of gray. And now I'm just filling it with fiberfill. And I mean, hot glue and metal are not the best of friends, but we are going to try and get this in there, like so. Alright, so now we're going to fill that with greens, but I need something for the front, so let me see what I have. So again, I found another one of these cards that came with several cards in that Simple Stories set that I have. So I thought there's a little bit of teal in there, but I thought that might look really pretty on that. So getting out my wallpaper slash contact paper. Yeah, that's a better description, because it does stick. And I'm going to put that down. I should have done this before I put the styrofoam in, obviously, but it's okay. Alright, and then I gotta get another piece. This here, I'm going to cut just a little bit off the top. Back there. So we'll get our tacky glue. comes out because it seems like it's really bright. I don't know how to change that. But from this sticker sheet, I'm taking these raised stickers and adding them to the bottom here. So I took off the little foam pieces that they have in the back, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and just layer them a little bit. It's just to add a little bit more detail like that. And then they have some vegetables here. I thought maybe I should add some of these stickers. Alright, now we got some greenery, and all of this is from Dollar Tree, so I'm just putting some hot glue, and we're going to stick it in, pushing it up because we don't need it very tall. And of course, you can add in whatever colors coordinate with what you like. I just really love these lavender picks. And then I thought I'd add some of these balls, the flock balls from last year. I really like these too. What don't I like? There you go. Alright, I hope you like these DIYs. Please, if you haven't subscribed, I'd really love for you to join my YouTube family. Please give it a thumbs up, share. Those things mean so much to YouTube and helps to support my channel. So thank you so much, and as we say, keep on creating. So this is just a bonus thing I'm doing. There is a festival down the road, and they're having a floral competition for non-professional flower people. So I submitted, and I'm going to try to create a peacock. Now you can use fresh flowers and silk flowers. So this is the Dollar Tree thing, and I just cut it because this is going to be the peacock neck. And then I'm just going to round this out. This is also from the Dollar Tree, one of their Oasis blocks, but I'm only going to do some because I have to add on fresh flowers there. So I'm just trying to make it more like a breast. And then I'm going to attach this with, this is a little, I don't know what they are, but they're much stronger than down. I'm going to add some glue. Not quite warm yet. So I changed my mind. I was going to use the hydrangea petals, but now I had these other petals. I don't know what they're called, but they are silk. And there was two sides, so I split them up and then I cut them and then I layered them all the way down. And then I trimmed the back end, the green end, so that it looked like feathers. So I just used hot glue and I just placed one on top under the other, sort of like shingles, and I went all the way down the neck, and then I turned it the other way, and I went down the front of the neck. I'm sorry, this is out of screen. It's just been crazy, but as you can tell, it's just going to go one behind the other, and I scooped it out so that it would fit around the neck like that. So I'm just going to keep going all the way down, and then, like I said, I will fray that so that it does look like feathers. Okay, so this is what the neck looks like, and then it's not quite dry, but I painted a piece of styrofoam, and that's going to be its nose, so that needs to dry. I was going to use regular styrofoam and then the Oasis, which is the wet styrofoam that you get in floral arrangements, but then I realized that I need to keep it in water to keep it fresh, and so the Oasis that you get at Dollar Tree is going to shrivel up because it doesn't stay whole. So I made the whole piece. This is the body. This will be the front. This is going to go here, and what I did is I just took some tape to keep it in place, and then I just take some paper clips. As you can see, this was a paper clip, and I just cut them, and I'm going to use this reindeer moss, and we're going to cover the body, and you take the paper clip to hold it in place. So I'm going to cover all of this. Looking at it and I'm like, oh, it looks kind of scary, like a dragon, but it'll look prettier once it's done. So I covered this with the moss using the pins, and now I have these green buttons, and I painted them with floral spray, and now I'm going to cover the body with those. Like that. So I'm going to cover this and I'll be back. I'm sorry, I get carried away. But I put all the buttons down here, and then I just used spray roses and some thistle, and then this is dried flowers that I had picked up from Hobby Lobby on clearance. And then again, this is just the foam that I cut and I put it in there. I still have to do the eye, and I have to do those things that are at the top of the head. But yeah, this is just a little bonus thing. We'll see what happens. And there you go, the final reveal. On this one, if you notice, I did add the greenery around the edge. Just needed a little something